Starting today's round as addressing a Russia-African summit in St. Petersburg, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi called on all sides to formulate sustainable solutions to existing conflicts that must be based on international law principles and goals of UN Charter, stressing that the African countries are sovereign and work to achieve for sustainable development.
President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi stressed that this summit comes amid very complicated international circumstances and polarization. Hence, the African countries are facing huge challenges which not only affect their path of development, but rather threatens its security and the future of its coming generations. The head of state stated that Egypt has always been a pioneer in pursuing the path of peace based on truth, justice, and balance, believing in the power of logic, not that of power. The president went on to present Egypt's vision regarding the current international situation, listing four important axes. First, the African countries have their own sovereignty, independence, will, and work to achieve sustainable development for the best interest of its peoples and should be drawn away from the current conflicts. Second, sustainable solutions for the current conflicts must be based on the goals and purposes of the UN Charter and the principles of international law, including the peaceful settlement of disputes, maintaining the sovereignty and territorial integrity of states. Here, the President called on the international community to refrain from using various tools to stoke conflicts and deepen polarization, including the use of economic sanctions out of the mechanisms of the multilateral international system. Third, the need to take into account the needs of developing countries, on top of which are the African ones, with regard to the severe repercussions on their economies as a result of the existing conflicts and challenges, especially in the access of food security, supply chains, and high energy prices. In this regard, el-Sisi stressed the importance of finding urgent solutions to provide food and fertilizers to the African states while searching for innovative financing mechanisms that support agriculture and food systems in the Black Continent. He expressed hope to reach a consensual solution for the grain export deal that takes into account the demands and interests of all parties. Fourth, the successive international developments and their repercussions necessitate the presence of an effective African voice within the existing international platforms, adding that he asserted that Egypt aspires the African demands will be met within the framework of the G20, as well as efforts to reform international financial institutions to be supported by the Russian partner. President el-Sisi said the documents that will be released by the summit will prove the depth of the strategic relations that unite African countries with the Russian side, as well as the broad prospects for strengthening the existing relations. Additionally, by focusing on the sectors of infrastructure, agriculture, industrialization, by making use of Russian technology, last but not least, to strengthen cultural and historical ties between our peoples. In this regard, President el-Sisi affirmed Egypt's commitment to deepen the Russian-African strategic partnership, believing in the opportunities and vast areas of cooperation. The head of state also referred to Egypt's role within its presidency of the Steering Committee of Heads of State and Government of the African Union Development Agency, NEPAD, as well as the leadership of the post-conflict reconstruction and development file at the African Union level.